Hello everybody. We are back. I'm trying to adjust my light here so it's like not fully in my face, but in my face enough that you guys can see me. But today I'm coming to you with a reaction video. I'm gonna cover up my school stuff here. Y'all don't need to know about that. Anyways, just kidding. So we're gonna have a reaction video to a team call that I found, which started out pretty professionally, and then I started figuring out that it was like really upsetting in some spots. And this is gonna be a little bit longer video, so disclaimer inserted here, guys. So anything that I say in this is my opinion and things that I am picking up on. I also tried to mess up the image enough that you all can't pick out a lot of these people just for privacy purposes, even though you can find this video on YouTube anywhere. I also took the title out so you can't purposefully go find this. But all of what I say is my opinion based on research, experiences, and things that I have found to be true. I'm also going to insert a trigger warning. She does talk about fertility and postpartum things and things like that, and mental health. So if you struggle with hearing about those kinds of things, this is definitely not the video for you. But we're going to go ahead and start. Hopefully this sounds okay. I've got my notebook here. I have three pages of notes, which a lot of them kind of correlate together, so I'll stop in different spots and you guys will see, what we're doing here. But this is the video that we are going to be listening to today. It's similar to a lot of the team calls I was on when I did Beachbody and when I was a coach myself. Thank God I'm into MLM now. But I didn't see it when I didn't see a lot of this while I was in the MLM. And so now that I'm out of the cult mindset, as a lot of people call it, which I'm starting to kind of see where it can seem culty and seem like an issue, that kind of thing. So we're going to pop into this. Let's get ready to analyze, guys.
I'm always excited about it. I'm always finding some kind of joy in it. And so I hope that I can share that with you guys today as we talk through being authentic on your journey. So with that being said, I'm so excited to have you guys with me tonight. Thank you for popping on. I know it's a crazy time with bedtimes and everything and dinner and all of that. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. Kind of a crazy time right now, especially to be talking about living a healthy lifestyle, right? I will say that I think this topic is especially important right now. And I've been sharing that with my team, just how sharing right now in a time where things look a bit differently, it's still very important for us to be authentic. And I think that that's perfect in this topic tonight. We still need to be our authentic selves in sharing our life. Like, this is my job. This is what is paying bills. This is what I've been doing before this quarantine, and this is what I plan to be doing far after all of this is over. So I think that when we get nervous to maybe share about what we're doing because we're afraid that, someone is going to take offense to it or think that we're preying on them or, whatever it might be. If you have always been sharing this business, this journey, whatever, there is no reason why you should ever stop now, because people need us now more than ever. So although life has slowed down, schedules are kind of off or they've changed, one thing that I am so incredibly thankful for is that, honestly, my routine, for the most part, has not really changed. And I'm grateful more than ever to have this consistent place to be able to show up and to have goals to work towards, whether that's business or fitness. And then just something to honestly keep me focused and excited versus scared and depressed. Because that is an easy path to choose. And it's, what we're in right now, nobody, I don't think, has ever experienced. Hopefully we don't ever experience it again. So while for so many of you guys it might feel like it's a weird time to share, I will tell you that now is the time that you need to be sharing. So let's dive into that talk.
Okay, I already had to stop. I had several notes for right through here, but then this really popped out at me. So here we go. So basically had stuff wrote down about how she was kind of like seeming more, she has like a subtle, God, I can't say that word, like a subtle pressuring going on, saying, hey, you really don't have any excuses, this is easy, I do it, you can do it, blah blah blah. But then she went in there and was talking about how, I'm sure she's seen this before, that's why she included it, but she discusses the fact that people are going to think that they're preying upon them during these trying times. Obviously, we're in a global pandemic, so it is kind of preying on people that could use the money and are strapped for the money and think that this is a good business venture for them when it's literally not a good business venture for them. And it's just, to me, it's a very subtle but arrogant and rude way to put that out there, saying, hey, people are going to say this, but you shouldn't listen to them because they're wrong. And they're not wrong, guys. You are literally preying upon people that can't afford to even get started and are very gullible or that desperate to be able to make money to pay things off. And that is being predatory. Like, that is being predatory, especially during a global pandemic. Like, I can't. Let's continue.
On just how to share your fitness journey authentically. And when I say that topic actually sounds so simple when you say it out loud, but it's really true. What's the easiest to do is also the easiest thing not to do. Make sense? So I'm going to repeat that. The easiest things for you to do are also the easiest things for us not to do.
Okay, so this is a reoccurring subtle and not subtle line that she uses throughout this whole training, because I pre-watched this, obviously, because I have my notebook. But this is the not subtle guilt tripping here, where she's basically saying, you know, the easiest thing to do is something you're not going to do, basically. That's the summary. Like, it's so easy to say no and not do something. But that one really burned me, and I sat there for a little bit before I started taking my notes, and I'm like, that is basically telling everybody there that them having an off day or a bad day, they're not doing enough. They are not getting enough done. They're not enough in their business that day. So that really irks me, because there's a lot of people that work this business in and out, like just day in, day out, and they have a bad day, and they have their upline say, hey, well, why didn't you do anything today? You're not doing enough. You know, you've wasted a whole day. It's so easy to waste a day, and blah 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 blah. And there's just so much hatred that I have in my body for this line that she just used. Now let's go on before I lose it.
So before I share some of the things that I'm going to do daily to, share my journey authentically, it's important to share that throughout all of my journey, I've had several life changes. So I started as a teacher, moved into substitute teaching postpartum with our first child back in 2013. And then since then, I've had two other postpartum journeys, two of those pregnancies requiring fertility medication. One of those postpartum journeys I'm very much still on at 10 months postpartum. I have battled intense anxiety, and I had a really long bout with depression in 2017 that I had to work through. So this journey has definitely been ever changing for me, but the most important thing is to take my followers and the people who maybe are inspired by my page to take them along for the ride. And I have to stay true to me through all of those life changes.
So I agree with like staying true to yourself and like being unique, and like I get sharing stuff like that that's like part of your journey and things like that, so on and so forth. But to me, it's just so wrong to wrap your personal life, especially when it comes to your mental health or even postpartum or anything like that. I just feel like it's so wrong to mesh your business with everything that's going on in your life, and it's already things that hurt you and upset you a lot. And I know we need, like, we were told to be relatable and things like that, and I would share some things here and there, but I'm not going to share with you all just all the fertility treatments that I had to have and all of this and all of that just so that I could get somebody on my team that, you know, is relatable, or to do something like that. Like, to me, that is morally kind of wrong. You want somebody on the team because they, or on your business team, because they align with how you think business-wise, not life-wise. Like, in lifestyle, like, you've got all these moms and things like that, and that's totally cool, and you have all these moms and you're relatable in that way. But sharing so much of your story that your story is overriding that you have a business and you're trying to put a business out there is kind of odd to me. It's just odd to me that anyone would share so much personal information anyways on the internet, especially when it comes to fertility issues and mental health. I do believe in mental health advocacy, but I do not believe in sharing these stories for personal gain instead of sharing these stories to help others. And in these kinds of situations, it's more for personal gains than it is to be an advocate for postpartum depression or anxiety, any mental health issues, that kind of thing. So I do apologize if I stepped on somebody's toes there when I said that, but I do believe there's a fine line of what you should share and how much you should share of it.
First things first, it's extremely important for you to stop being cookie cutter. If your account, your, whatever social media platform you're using is a dime a dozen, if you yourself are a dime a dozen, it's going to be really hard for someone to want to follow you specifically. Maybe they're inspired by workouts or Beachbody, or they're inspired by a coach, but then they go to another Beachbody coach account and they find the same post, the same content. That's not going to be very inspiring. That's actually going to really water things down, and it's going to water things down really fast. How are they going to honestly know who is truly being the authentic one and who is not? So this is why, as a newer coach, I would suggest following a few coaches, but the majority that you follow should honestly be people outside of the company that inspire you as far as their content and the way they post, their personality, so that you can find fresh ideas and inspiration that isn't so coach cookie cutter, if that makes sense. When I first started out, I would look to so many other accounts as motivation, but the problem with that was that I was using their ideas. A lot of times I was using their content, their concepts, and almost like their personality started to rub off on me to influence my own. And then none of what I was doing ended up being authentic. And guess what? The engagement in my posts and me trying to have these conversations showed. People saw straight through that lens. And I needed to realize that my life and my story and my authentic self and personality was what people wanted, and that they did not want some watered down version of me that was trying so hard to be relatable to almost everyone that I ended up not being relatable or not relating to anyone at all.
Exactly. So I know in my trainings that I had we were told the same thing that she just said about following only a few coaches and then following people outside of Beachbody, so you could get some ideas, bounce some things around, and find, let me put my camera down a little bit, and find fresh ideas and this and that and on and on. And at the time it seemed super harmless and like no big deal, but hearing it now that I have got out of this and just really did a lot of my research and listened to a lot of the thoughts that I was having in the back of my head that I was throwing out and just pushing away and be like, hey, no, this is wrong. No, it's right. Okay, these thoughts that I was having is right. So when she's talking about this cookie cutter kind of personality, it's basically a similar personality that all Beachbody coaches have. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but all of them have this personality that is irritating because they're like, hey girl, and all of that. No, honey. As soon as I see hey girl in my DMs, whether it be Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, you are instantly ignored. Like, no, every Beachbody coach that I've ever dealt with has said that, hey girl, or hey hun, or hey, and then my name. When you start out with something like that and I don't know you, I instantly know that you're an MLM hun. I know that, and everybody knows that. So being authentically you, if you're going to go at it with an MLM, you can't follow a lot of these trainings that these people are giving you because they are this cookie cutter personality that they're trying to tell you not to be. And that's not authentic. That's not having any kind of authentic anything going on with what you do. No, you're not building a business that's authentically you when you're following people outside of Beachbody and getting new fresh ideas to do things. And then also wrote a note down here. There is no way that you will 100% be authentically you when it comes to Beachbody, because with these trainings, they form you like Play-Doh or clay into this happy little bubbly fitness pusher that you are. So let's continue on with this video. I'm just double checking how far in we are. Let's do this in a 2 or 3 parter. Let's do that because this will be actually pretty cool. So I'm going to end this first part here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Part 2 will be up here soon. I'm filming this all in one day, but I am super excited to do more than one part with this because I think it'll give me some more time to go in and explain my thoughts, and hopefully I articulated my sentences and words and all that into something that you guys are understanding. If not, leave comments below. I'll try to clarify. Anyways, so if you want more team call content, pop a comment below saying that you do. If you've made it to this point and the video's almost done, comment that you are anti-MLM too. Alright guys, see you in part 2 coming shortly. It'll probably be a couple days apart each one, but I can't wait for you guys to see it.